My wife demanded a divorce and had the audacity to say, "You can't afford a lawyer to fight me." I just smiled and replied, "You're right." She walked into court thinking she'd crush me until the city's most expensive and feared attorney sat beside me and said, "He doesn't owe me a dime. I'm his older sister, and today you're losing everything." It all began last Thursday. Laura, my wife of 9 years, told me she wanted a divorce. Her voice held no sorrow, no remorse, only a calculated certainty, like a CEO finalizing a deal already won. We were in the kitchen of the apartment we'd turned into a home, but she spoke like a landlord evicting a tenant. "It's over, Michael," she said, sliding a folder across the counter. "I've already consulted a lawyer. These are my terms." I didn't even open the folder. It wasn't necessary. She was eager to spell them out. She wanted the apartment, the one my grandmother helped me buy with her savings. She demanded our joint account and alimony for at least 6 years. This wasn't a discussion. It was a demand for surrender. "I don't want to argue about this, Michael," she added, with a tone dripping in fake pity. "Let's be realistic. You're a community college art instructor. You earn enough to get by, but not to hire a real lawyer. Mine will bury you in fees before you even step into court. Just accept the terms and move on with your life." I looked at her in silence, a chill settling in my chest. She didn't just want to leave me, she wanted to ruin me. She saw me as a weak obstacle to be flattened. I let the silence linger for a moment before saying the 2 words she expected. "You're right." Her relief was instant. She thought she'd won. She stood, smoothed her dress, and said, "Good. I'm glad you're being reasonable. You'll get the official papers next week." Then she left the room. Laura was certain she knew my limits. She knew I didn't have thousands to fight her in court. She also knew I had an older sister, Emily, but she was betting on the fact that we hadn't spoken in 6 years. Emily isn't an instructor. She's the most feared and costly divorce attorney in the state. Her presence unnerves opposing counsel, but she was no longer part of my life. We drifted apart after our parents' deaths in a bitter fight over their estate. I wanted to keep their countryside cabin as a family touchstone. Emily, ever practical, wanted to sell it and split the proceeds. The argument was so brutal, we became strangers. Laura had witnessed the end of that fight and bet we'd never speak again. By her calculations, my greatest asset was gone. She was wrong. The next 3 days were dark. I couldn't afford a trial under those terms. The thought of losing my apartment and everything I'd worked for suffocated me. But on the 4th day, I hit rock bottom. And when you're that low, you can only climb up. I swallowed my pride and found her private number. I dialed, hands shaking, expecting a sharp-voiced assistant or voicemail. But after 2 rings, I heard a familiar voice. "Hey, Emily, it's Michael," I said, my voice feeling foreign. Long pause followed. I thought she'd hang up. Then, "Mikey." The old nickname hit with nostalgia. "What's up?" Everything spilled out. I told her every detail. Laura's demands, her lawyer, her coldness, her final taunt. Another pause, this one heavy with tension. When she spoke, her voice had shifted. It wasn't surprise anymore. It was steel, the protective tone I hadn't heard since childhood. "She said what?" she asked calmly. I repeated her words. "Perfect," she said. "When and where's the hearing?" "Monday, at the downtown courthouse." "Perfect. Don't talk to her or her lawyer. Don't sign anything. Show up that day, and I'll be there." We hung up. My heart pounded with a mix of fear and fierce hope. Laura thought she'd disarmed me. She didn't know she'd just handed me a weapon of mass destruction. Monday dawned cold and foggy.